Vernazza is often called the most photogenic village in the Cinque Terre, a cluster of passive buildings stacked above the only natural harbor on the stretch of the Italian Riviera. That reputation didn't happen by accident. It comes from a specific combination of history, geography, and stubborn preservation efforts that kept the village from changing much at all. 5 experiences reveal what actually makes this village one with climb up from the train station, and the final one is widely considered the single base hike in the entire Cinque Terre National Park. Number 5. The village itself functions as a walking tour built along one narrow main street called Via Roma that runs from the train station down to the harbor, flanked by tall, color-coded buildings that once helped fishermen identify their homes from the sea. Side alleys, known locally as Caruggi, branch off in every direction, climbing steep stone staircases that lead to terraced vineyards to follow the color patterns on the buildings. Since certain shades once marked fishing families by trade lineage passed down for generations because cars are banned from the historic center, the entire village can be explored on foot in under an hour, though most visitors spend far longer getting lost in the alleys. Just as a tip, wandering the Caruggi away from the Via Roma reveals the quietest corners of the village, even during the busiest hours of the day. Number 4. Vernazza holds the distinction of being the only village in Cinque Terre with a natural harbor, a small inlet that has sheltered fishing boats for centuries and shaped the entire layout of the village around it. Piazza Marconi sits right at the water's edge, ringed by restaurants serving the day's catch within sight of the boats that brought it in. Restaurants along the Piazza continue to fishing tradition that the modern tourism industry by centuries, with several families still working the same waters their ancestors fished generations ago. The harbor's natural protection is also why Vernazza became a target for pirate raids in the medieval period, a threat that directly shaped several other landmarks in the village. A tip: sunset from the breakwater delivers one of the best views in the Cinque Terre, with the entire village lit up above the water. Number 3. Built directly on the water's edge in 1318, the Gothic Ligurian church is one of the few in the region positioned so close to the sea that storm waves occasionally reach its walls. Its octagonal bell tower breaks from the typical square towers found through Liguria, a design choice historians believe was influenced by maritime trade routes connecting Vernazza to the eastern Mediterranean. Inside the church holds relics tied to Saint Margherita, transported to the village according to local tradition. Visiting early morning avoids the crowds gathering later in Piazza Marconi, just steps away, offering a quieter view of the church against the harbor. Number 2. Perched on the rocky point above the harbor, Castello Doria dates back to the 11th century, when it was built as a watchtower to spot pirate ships approaching from the sea. The Doria family, one of the most powerful maritime dynasties in medieval Genoa, expanded the fortress over the following centuries to defend the entire village below. The family ties to Genoa's naval power meant this small watchtower was once part of a much larger network of coastal defenses stretching along the entire Ligurian coast. Today, its terraces offer some of the widest panoramic views in the Cinque Terre, looking out over the harbor, the pastel rooftops, and the cliffs curving toward the neighboring village. Arriving right before closing time usually means fewer crowds on the terraces and the softest light for photos. 3 down, 2 spots left, and the next 2 explain exactly why hikers travel from across the world just to walk between these villages. Number 1. The trail connecting Vernazza to Corniglia is a section of the Centenario Azzurro historic footpath that links all 5 villages of Cinque Terre along the cliffs above the Ligurian Sea, carved into terraced hillsides that farmers have cultivated for generations. The trail winds past vineyards, olive groves, and sweeping sea views with almost no flat ground for its entire length. Sections of the trail pass so close to the cliff edge that even experienced hikers pause to take in the drop drop toward the sea below. Landslides and erosions have closed sections of the path various points over the years, and the trail requires a Cinque Terre card to access, a small fee that goes toward maintaining the fragile terrain. Despite the physical demands, it remains one of the most rewarding hikes in Italy, delivering views of the coastline that are simply impossible to see from the village below. Checking trail status before setting out is essential, since sections occasionally close from maintenance or after heavy rain. From a fortress built to watch for pirates to a cliffside trail carved by generations of farmers, these 5 spots reveal the versions of Vernazza that exist past the postcard view from the harbor. Every alley, tower, and switchback still traces back to centuries of life built around this one small natural port, and that history is exactly what keeps drawing visitors back. More hidden gems from the Cinque Terre and beyond continue in the episodes ahead.